Seniors take yearbook photos in high school. Matthew is speechless because his high school narrative is boring. He never dated or did anything crazy. He just recalls his university scholarship and his parents' joy. The gymnasium hosts the school assembly. Klitz and Eli join Matthew at the gym. Matthew, the student council president, says that they have raised $25,000 to send Sam Nong, a smart Cambodian student, to Westport. The news excites everyone. The popular senior's ability to skip classes and go to the beach baffles Matthew and his friends. Matthew joins them to try something new before graduating. Matthew had to travel alone since his friends won't. He drives after them, but school security tells him to stop. The security system crash caught his attention. Matthew was picturing things afterward. After school, Matthew finds a new car. Mr. and Mrs. Peterson are talking to his parents as he arrives home. He says he's writing a scholarship speech for Georgetown. He says the scholarship is for the most virtuous kid. That evening, Matthew practiced his speech. He stutters when the beautiful woman gets out of the car. He stared at her till he hit the trash can. Matthew calls Eli about his gorgeous neighbor. He watches the girl at the window take off her clothes while on the phone and hangs up. She sees him peering behind her. Matthew's parents call him. His mother introduces Danielle, who admits to not telling his parents about his peeping in her room. His mother says Danielle lives with her aunt. While away, she asks Matthew to show Danielle around. Matthew drives Danielle's vehicle silently, then stops. Matthew apologizes when Danielle confronts him about spying. Fairly, she asks him to undress. After he undresses, she leaves. After giggling, she lifts him. They tell tales over dinner. Danielle says she quit her job to attend college. She smiles and answers when Matthew asks if she has a partner, and he chuckles when Danielle asks about his craziest moment. He lies, but she finds his innocence. She also finds he is unmarried and advises him he needs someone cute who can make him laugh and inspire him to accomplish things he never thought he could. They smiled as she drew herself and told him about a similar person. Danielle drives Matthew home. Even though Danielle wants him to kiss her, Matthew hesitates when they arrive. The next day, Matthew tells buddies about last night. Eli labels him gay for failing to nail her. Matthew regrets not kissing Danielle. Matthew invites Danielle outside of class. He runs into Danielle's vehicle. They hang out often. He shows Danielle a photo of Sam Nong and tells her how he earned money to send him to school. She liked Matthew's compassion. Danielle takes Matthew to an unknown location. Danielle leads Matthew inside. He and Danielle undress. They swim. He tells her his strangest recent act. The house owner approaches, and they kiss. The owner is the principal, and worries about him. Danielle suggests letting things happen. The principal sees them flee. Later, Matthew presents Danielle to his friends at Eli's. She captivates his buddies. Derek's party follows. All students are gazing at Danielle. Danielle meets Derek's friend Hunter. Derek pulls Matthew away and tells him the party is full. Matthew watches Danielle laugh and drink with Hunter. He walks over and passionately kisses Danielle. His buddies stared. The next day, Eli shows Matthew a pornographic DVD starring his girlfriend, Danielle. Matthew was jealous and furious as the actors touched her. He runs away, and Eli tells him to kill her in a motel. He tells him he won't see Danielle again since she's an adult film star. Matthew arrives home to find Danielle and his mother looking at his newborn photographs. He sees her giving his father his head and making love with his mother. He storms in. Danielle follows him and asks how she can help him. He snaps and tells her they're going out later that evening as he stares at his bed and imagines nailing her. Matthew takes Danielle to a cheap hotel and gives her drinks. Danielle knows Matthew knows about her adult film career. She strips for him. She leaves weeping because Matthew judged her. She admits she lied about her history because she liked his looks. She goes home. Matthew fails after many days. Apologizing, he visits Danielle. He sees a strange man in her house. The guy follows him outdoors. He compliments Matthew on Danielle's treatment. Greetings, Kelly. Later, they drink at a strip club. Kelly says he's an adult film producer when Matthew asks how they met. Matthew smokes his first cigar after Kelly lights one. Matthew and his classmates think a sex education film at school is dull and low quality. Matthew tells his pals about Kelly and last night. After class, Matthew spots Kelly conversing with the senior ladies, and the three ride with Kelly, telling them about his plan of filming an adult video with the senior girls at prom and how well it would sell. Kelly follows Matthew to the bank. Kelly discovers Matthew raised $25,000 to welcome Sam Nong to his school. Jeannie, the clerk, Approaches. Matthew's student advisor is Kelly. Kelly compliments Jeannie. Matthew admires Kelly's womanizing. Matthew sees Danielle packing for a Vegas adult film conference with Kelly the next day. He asks Danielle if she wants to start anew, but she regretfully says no. Matthew invites his friends to the adult film conference in Vegas that evening. Eli starts filming, but security stops him. The security officer lets Eli escape after he says he films for the yearbook. Danielle, alias Athena, poses seductively for pictures. He apologizes and calls her the nicest thing that ever happened to him. Matthew follows her off stage. Hugo, an adult film director, calls Danielle and encourages her to leave Kelly for him, but Kelly interrupts, and Hugo departs. Matthew warns Kelly that Danielle does not want to be there, but Kelly takes him to a storage area and threatens him, telling him not to meddle with his business or Danielle. Matthew's friends tell him to go since it's late and he has a scholarship dinner tomorrow, but he keeps searching for Danielle. A lovely woman wonders who they are while waiting for Matthew, Klitz and Eli. Eli pretends to be a director, so the lady requests to be in their movie. Her buff lover, Mule, cuts them off when they say they want to utilize her. They were apprehensive, but Mule wanted his lover in their film and raved about her. Mule demands they touch her breast to check her health. Security informs Mule that they are high school students. They escaped, and the Mule pursued them. After providing Danielle with a paper saying he knows her, Matthew leaves. Danielle unfolds the page to show her Matthew-era artwork. The next day, Matthew practices his scholarship speech. Danielle answers his door when someone knocks. She drives him to school and kisses him, thanking him for believing in her. She accepts his prom invitation. Matthew practices his evening talk in class. Kelly enters their class. He furiously drives Matthew far away. Since Danielle missed the stage, Kelly tells Matthew he lost $30,000. Matthew must pay him. Kelly mercilessly beats Matthew while he bargains. He offers Kelly medicine to feel better later. He then promises to leave him and Danielle alone if he gets Hugo's trophy, which is properly his. Kelly tells Matthew Hugo stole his ideas and made millions. Matthew is nervous when they get on Hugo's property since he must return in an hour for the scholarship banquet. After stealing the trophy, Kelly reassures Matthew. Matthew enters, unaware that Kelly has left. Kelly reports a robbery to police. Matthew retrieves the prize. Hugo's presence surprises him. Hugo sends his parrot after Matthew, but he escapes and sees Kelly driving away, allowing him to hide from the police and call his friends. Matthew sexily strokes Klitz as they ride him home. Danielle hurries out of Matthew's house with his suit, heading to supper. Danielle tells Matthew that Kelly gave him ecstasy. Danielle tells Matthew to relax. Everyone watches them enter the hall. He kisses one of his opponents, caresses everyone, and dances for no reason. His opponent's speech also amuses him. Matthew speaks, but he can't read. He discards his notes and decides to go with it. He then improvises a speech about finding the one thing you care about most and sacrificing everything for her, even your future. He looks at Danielle after finishing. The performer receives a standing ovation. Danielle feels terrible when Matthew's opponent wins. Matthew goes to the bank to withdraw money for Sam Nong on Monday, but the teller tells him his student advisor had withdrawn it the day before. Kelly robbed Matthew. Matthew faults her for not asking Kelly for ID. He tells her to keep it a secret since his school will deport him. He pledges to get her money back. She gives him till Monday because she fears jail. Matthew runs to Danielle's house to tell her. Matthew asks his friends for help with the fundraising plan. Klitz hesitates, but Eli convinces him. Tomorrow, Danielle calls her pornographic film friends. Matthew delivers the prize to Hugo's house. After shaking hands, Hugo offers Matthew $25,000 by Sunday if their strategy works. It's showtime. A film team records Matthew and his friends. They invite Danielle and her two adult film star friends to prom. Everyone watches them on the prom trip. Hunter and his pals perform. Matthew tells Eli. Hunter and buddies approach Matthew and Danielle. Hunter requests to talk to Matthew, and Danielle kisses him goodbye. Hunter asks about the females he brought, and Matthew reveals that they are adult film stars and asks Hunter and his friends if they want to be in a film. Derek loses a photo release contract while giving them their script. At the party, Matthew tells Derek that the room is full, much like Derek did at his party. After entering the room to record, Matthew dances with Danielle. Derek joins the crew on many shoots. The faculty dean confronts Matthew about the photo release document. Matthew's ignorance makes the faculty chair suspicious. Danielle thanks Matthew for her first prom. She kisses his hand and dances till a team member suggests there's a problem. Matthew learns of Derek's incompetence. No one wants the crucial scene. Thus, Matthew does it himself. The head teacher bursts in, shouting who is in control, as Matthew begins the performance. Everyone looks at Matthew, but it's evident he's hallucinating while dressing up. After seeing Danielle's lipstick on his hands after kissing him, he changes his mind and tells his friends he can't continue the film and will pay the consequences. Instead, Klitz volunteers, and they finish the video without being caught, celebrating with champagne in the limo. After everyone leaves, Danielle asks Matthew what his craziest recent act was. He kisses her, their first. Eli calls Matthew on his way home to tell him the videotape is missing. Matthew enters the home to find his parents and the principal sitting with Kelly, who tells him they have an important subject to address. Kelly holds the videotape. Kelly begs to talk with Matthew alone and informs him that screening an explicit video at prom was his idea, and Matthew stole it. Matthew doesn't answer, saying Hugo would deal with Kelly because he's Matthew's partner and shares half the profit. Kelly threatens to reveal his parents the footage unless he pays him. Matthew orders him to display the tape. Kelly presents Matthew's parents and the principal with the DVD, which is a better sex instruction film than the school's. Matthew's parents and principal applaud him. The film goes viral and sells the most sex instruction videos worldwide. Matthew becomes rich and meets Sam Nong. Eli directs and speaks at conventions. Klitz hides his face but gains confidence from his huge rod throughout the video. The video ends with Matthew entering Georgetown University, which he can afford. Danielle greets him outside her car after class.